over 1.6 and London motorists face having to change their car to comply with the £12 per day or less charge to be launched in 2021. A much bigger figure than officially recognized by the London authorities according to the car industry's own estimate. Obtained by Autocar, the 1.6 figure comes from the SMMT car makers' trade body, which compiles detailed registration figures for the industry and forecasts more than 3 times the figure supplied by Transport for London. Autocar's own estimate, published this week, suggested a figure of up to £500,000 £10 trillion charge for high-polluting vehicles in London, breaking down its figures for the 2016 Greater London Motor Park. The SMMT says that 782,439 diesels and 858,018 petrols will be hit by the new rules, which single out Euro 0 to 5 diesels and Euro 0 to 3 petrols for a £12 per day charge, whereas TfL believes that just 321k diesels and 255k petrols will be affected, a total of 576k. If accurate, the large SMMT figure suggests a staggeringly rapid changeover will wipe out huge numbers of otherwise serviceable older cars and young classics on London's roads over the next 3 years. Hardest hit will be owners of relatively new EU5 diesels models most closely associated with Dieselgate, which today might be only 3.5 years old. By 2021, the last of the EU5s will be just 7 years old. That's the average age of the British car fleet. Drivers using a petrol as an everyday car will suffer if they own a pre-2005 model the date EU4 started. Today those models are 12 years old, still relatively new with plenty of mileage left in them. But worst it will be enthusiast owners of young classics, complete generations of 1980s, 1990s and 2000s. Enthusiast cars will become prohibitively expensive to run as daily drivers in London, in defense of its policy. Alex Williams, TfL's Director of City Planning, linked the policy to air pollution, especially around London schools. Diesel tax hike confirmed. Urgent action is required to tackle London's air quality crisis and reduce emissions from older, more polluting vehicles, he said. We are currently consulting on expanding the ULIS, which would see a 71% reduction in schools in high-pollution areas in 2021, lowering the exposure of school children to harmful toxins that can reduce their lung development, issuing a plea to motorists to engage with the consultation by February 28. Williams said, "I would encourage anyone who is affected by the proposals to respond to the consultation to help us shape our plans." TfL's analysis expects many motorists to change to newer cars to avoid the £12 per day charge. Although IHASNT commented on the stark choice facing owners of young classics, serviceable sports models that will ultimately become the classics of tomorrow. This group includes multiple generations of the Porsche 911 and Boxster Cayman, Mazda MX-5, VW Golf GT, Ford Escort Sierra Cosworth, BMW M3/C3/C4, Merc S-Class CLK SLK SL and many Volvo models. Even the first BMW Mini will be ensnared. Sales started in 2001. While the Land Rover Defender, including the final run Heritage model, will be forced out of London. We are not outlawing or banning any cars, says a TfL spokesman. There is still the option to use a car, but only after paying a £12 charge. Owners may just choose to use their vehicle less often. In reality, an owner who uses a young classic every day faces an annual bill of £4,380, while an overnight trip away, say to Silverstone or Goodwood, will cost £24 because the charge be paid on the journey out and back and over the weekend. TfL says it expects 100,000 cars, 35,000 vans and 3,000 lorries per day to be affected when it is introduced in 2021, but if the SMMT figure is accurate, the number will surely be much higher. Volkswagen, BMW and Daimler diesel monkey tests. Brands have blood on their hands. Experience of the congestion charge, CC, also suggests that £12 will be a significant constraint. Why else introduce it? TfL has previously boasted of pricing off private cars from central London with the £11.50 cc. Motorists will also remember that the cc started out at £5 in 2003 and has steadily more than doubled, first to £8 in 2005. £10 in 2008 and £11.50 in 2014, although the cc was not intended to reduce pollutants. It is worth noting that TfL itself reports no improvement in air quality in central London. The T-charge is being extended across London to address NOx and particulates (ppm) said to breach EU standards. The UK government has lost legal cases and now faces significant fines from the EU. Countrywide, London's ULEZ is just the start. However, with 3 other cities earmarked, Birmingham, Manchester and Oxford, the widespread introduction of ANPR-enforced anti-car zones in UK cities also gives organisations like TfL and local authorities the power to ban any type of car as and when they wish. In London, at least, owners of historic cars will be exempted from the ULEZ. Largely thanks to lobbying by the Federation of British Historical Vehicle Clubs, we have a strong argument that older collector cars produce a tiny volume of pollutants, and TfL has accepted that argument, says FBHVC spokesman Jeff Lancaster. Historic cars are defined as 40 years old by the government, so by 2021, cars dating from 1981 will be exempt. And because the cutoff advances yearly, mid-80s cars will assume exemption by 2025, but that may be too late for many owners of young classics. Autocar estimates suggest the total UK number of older petrol and diesels could be as high as 6 million. Since London makes up 8.4% of the UK fleet, that's equivalent to at least 500k cars, a huge number. Read more. Land Rover Defender review. BMW M3 review. £10 trillion charge for high polluting vehicles in London.